look over here. Okay, closer look over here to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, Al-Masjid Al-Qibli. As I said before, Masjid Al-Aqsa means everything around here. So if you pray on the floor over here and you pray inside, it's the same thing. It's just called musallayat, which means prayer rooms. Okay? So over here we have Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, Qibli, Al-Masjid Al-Qibli, which means the direction of the Qibla. So we actually pray like this, right? Leading to Mecca. No.
Sister Alia,
yeah, go ahead. 1, 2, 3.
When you were showing the other area, you were telling it was Masjid al-Umar. Is that considered in Masjid al-Aqsa too, like a courtyard of Masjid al-Aqsa?
Yes, it's everything in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. I'm talking about Masjid Al-Aqsa, but everything in the gateways. Remember the picture that I shared with you guys in the beginning? That rectangle with all the musallayat, this is the silver dome, and over here is the golden dome. All of those areas with the places here, with the library that is down there, but I can't go down there because I'll lose connection. Over here, there's a library down there. I'll lose connection if I go down there. All of those areas with the museum, with the Masjid Umari, with the rooms of the guards, everything is considered under the trees, everything. In the Sabid over there where they make wudu, all of everything inside this rectangle shape that I showed you in the map in the beginning is called the Masjid Al-Aqsa. Okay? All of it is called Masjid Al-Aqsa. If we look over here, we'll find, let's count the columns right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns over here. And this is 7 columns for Al-Masjid Al-Qibli. A long time ago, it was all the way to 12 columns. So, okay, where did they go? What happened was when an earthquake happened, most of it tore down. It collapsed, and they kept only 7, and they fixed the 7 over here, and they tore down. Okay, over here is where. This is over here, the windows of Al-Masjid Al-Qibli. I was reading a book called Safwat al-Safwa. And it was talking about the Ubad and the Zuhad, which means the Abideen, the worshippers of Bayt al-Maqdis. And it was referring to, it would say that, some stories of the Salihin, how their worship is of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa or anywhere else in the world. They would have this title of Ubad, the worshippers of Bayt al-Maqdis, the worshippers of whatever, the worshippers of Baghdad, the worshippers of that worshipper and they would tell the story of how his yaqeen, how his ibadah was, and how they saw him, or some incident that happened with them in this place. Now over here, this is on the other side. This is the door of the imam. You see this calligraphy? This is amazing calligraphy. This is the door of the imam. So everyone, instead of the imam would, cross all the people that are in the i'tikaf, in the Masjid Al-Aqsa that are lining up there, what he would do is they made him a special door, and it's colorful. Okay, there it's open there. They made him a special door where he could go in front of the masjid and where he can make his khutbah, make the imama and whatever. It's inside, and there's lots of men sleeping in there, and it would not be appropriate for me to go inside right now. Right? These are the windows, and the sun actually rises from this section over here to that section over here. So the sun would go all the way on the inside from this section, and over here on the other side is Masjid Umar as well, but we can't go inside because of the men. All right, this is construction place where they fix the windows and everything. Okay, it doesn't look really nice though, but that's what it is. Okay, this is under this whole yard over here is called al-Musalla al-Marwani. As we can see tents here, the people making i'tikaf. Now it was filled with tents, but today's the last day of Ramadan and the last nahar of Ramadan. So we're actually in the last hours of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and in the hadith it says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the last day of Ramadan frees people more than he freed people from hellfire, more than he freed people in all of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those that are freed from the hellfire, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Okay, so we're going, this is the wall of the Masjid Al-Aqsa and also the wall of the old city. Okay, as we see, remember the map that I showed you guys that I shared? You want me to share it again? Who wants me to share the map again? Go up. You want me to share the map again, sisters?
Yeah, please.
Okay, let's share the map really fast here and show them the map, and you make a screenshot when for the map. All right, let's do the sharing for the map really fast and come back. All right, add. There we go. Okay, now we are where right now? I am over here. Where's my pen? I am over here right now. Here. Okay, I'm in this section over here. And if you notice, this over here, all of that is the wall of the old city, all of the old city. But I was referring to not the old city, I was referring to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. If we notice here that Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is on the sides, over here is Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, and I am here next to the walls over here. All right, this is where I am right now, and I am in this, okay, let's see, I'm in this corner. All right, this is where I am. I'm actually here. Okay, so this is where we are right now, and we can see that they are sharing the same wall. The old city and Masjid Al-Aqsa are sharing the same wall. But over here, the wall keep on continues. This is Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, right? And this is sharing the same wall with Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, with the wall of the old city itself. This wall was renewed by Sulaiman al-Qanuni. Sulaiman al-Qanuni is an Usmani Khalifa that was renewed in 500 years ago. They do a little bit of renovation here and there, but it's from 500 years ago till now, it's the same thing. It's a little bit of fixing. It didn't, the earthquakes that happened did not break the walls in this place right now. Okay, I'm going to be leaving this place and going right now down, but under this whole area, there's a masjid down under this area. Now, this area was considered below. Now, this is actually the mountain. The mountain of Masjid Al-Aqsa. I'm going to stop the sharing right now. Did I stop the sharing? No, I didn't. Okay, here I am. Okay, this whole area over here, under it is a very big musalla, masjid. Right? It's all considered a masjid. All, even the tunnels, even everything is all considered from yani what is considered a Masjid Al-Aqsa. All right. So long time ago, the Umayyads, when they ruled Palestine and they built Al Masjid Al-Qubbat Al-Sakhra, and they built also this Masjid Al-Qibli or Musalla Al-Qibli. When they built it long time ago, the Umayyads, that's 1400 years ago, they saw this area to be very, it was like a valley, this area, all of it. So what they did is, well, let's make this whole place, one straight line and easy to, to go and come, and let's make this place into a masjid. So they built a rooftop on this to be the same level of that over there, and they made it all in one level to be a masjid level. So under all of this place, this section is also a masjid, and we go down the stairs. But if I go down a few stairs, I'll lose connection with the internet, and then you guys can't see. This is only for you guys to come and see. Inshallah, all these tents are for the i'tikaf. It was filled with tents over here, but the people had to go to, for the 1948 people, it's harder for them to stay for the 28th. So people of Quds will stay for the 29th of Ramadan, for the 30th of Ramadan. This is the entrance of Al-Masjid Al-Musalla Al-Marwani. Although the Crusaders turned it to a stable where they put their horses and their mules and donkeys or whatever. And if we go inside, we'll see that the wall is carved into places where they would tie their animals into it. All right, you can see the views over here. All right. There we go. Oops, that's me. Okay. There we go. This is al-Musalla. Is it clear? Yeah. Okay. So we're going up right now, going back to al-Masjid al-Qubbat al-Sakhra or Musalla Qubbat al-Sakhra. Okay, so some will say Masjid Qubbat al-Sakhra, Musalla Qubbat al-Sakhra. Musalla means prayer place, and Masjid means masjid. And then they're saying, why are you calling it masjid? Don't call it masjid. It's a musalla. The Yahud are trying to tell us it's masjid, but it's not a masjid, it's a musalla. And the musalla is everywhere around the sahat and everything in here. Yes, that's true. But let's not to become too strict. As long as we know the definition that all of what we see with the trees, with the sahat, with the sabits, with the mastab ilm, with everything, the nafaqs, the tunnels, everything up and down. We know what's in Masjid al-Aqsa. We don't have to be harsh on ourselves and on others. This is all considered in Masjid al-Aqsa. They call it Masjid al-Qubbat al-Sakhra. They call it Masjid al-Qibli. It's not a big issue to talk about. The Yahud are just trying to, when they made this, they're trying to say that this is only in Masjid al-Aqsa, so they can take this one, or this is only Masjid al-Aqsa, so they can take that one. So this is the Yahud made, but as long as you're aware of what's going on, it's like calling the Yahud or everyone besides the Yahud is anti-Semitic. Well, we are all Semitic anyways. I mean, as Arabs, we are considered Semitic. So, as long as you know the whole story, then there's nothing for you to be confused about. You call it masjid, it's a masjid. You call it musalla, it's a musalla. It's not a big issue. All right? So, we're going up. And we can see more masatib ilm here. Can you see? Masatib is all the higher parts of the areas. It's more masatib ilm. Now, on the other side over there, you'll find rocks on the floor over there. We'll get to there. Now, the Yahud are preventing us from the Muslimin from fixing that section. And why so? Is to take over that place and to build their temple, mount. Right? Now we're going up to al-Musalla Qubbat al-Sakhra. Musalla Qubbat al-Sakhra over here. Beautiful places.
I'm going to the other room. Mikhail.
But you just give me your phone.
I will.
Yeah.
Beautiful place here. So the men in Ramadan pray on the Masjid al-Qibli, which is here, and the women pray up there. Okay? There's 19 wells in al-Masjid al-Aqsa, and how do we know where there's a well? When we go up, inshallah, you'll see the wells. I forgot to tell you about the wells.
Boy,
There's another, this is another masjid. Okay. Can somebody put Hajar, can you, if you're busy, okay, this is another mastabat ilm. Over there, the mihrab is considered for the alam. Of course, it's new, as you notice. There's no mihrab there, but they made a metal one just to refer to it. All those upper places where there's small things over here, this is a well. Okay, a well of water, another place of well. Now, wait a second. While we're walking on Masjid al-Aqsa, we're going to be noticing there's small holes while we're walking. Okay, and these holes line up from the beginning all the way to the end. Holes, and we see that the rocks or the tiles are kind of, shallow in the middle. See, there's more holes over here. Okay, so these holes are actually leading to the wells of al-Masjid al-Aqsa. So all the rainwater, of course, they didn't have chemicals a long time ago, or they didn't used to use chemicals. Everything was natural. And in every well, for those that know or don't know, in every well, if you want to make a well clean, you just pour a bucket of clean yani. You just pour mud in it, and by time it will clean itself and it becomes clean. Just pour soil in it, and by time it will become clean. All right. something has to do with chemistry and biology, and I have a hard time translating biology in English because I took it in Arabic. All right, so this is one of the wells here. Okay, had 19 wells long time ago. My father went in. Okay, and my father was in that timing. Long time ago, they used to use these wells to support. Okay, can you guys put, you please put mute for لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.
কোনো একটা ফাঁকিনতে গো মানুষ করু নাই গো কিলা নামাজ পড়তা খালি জায়গা পরে পড়িতে আছে দিরা
Wait.
নামা গো
Okay, Hajar, I'm gonna put more other people in as co-hosts, you know, for, let's see. Noor, are you there? So I'm putting Noor as a host, Aysha as well as a co-host. All right. If you see anything, if like there's interrupting kids or anything like that, just don't mind just putting mute for them, Yani. Just for all of us to understand what's going on. All right. So this is actually one of the, how many ma'danas are there? There's 4 main ma'danas for in al-Masjid al-Aqsa. The one in Bab al-Maghariba, which the Yahud said they prevented the Muslimin from making adhan from there. And then Erdogan in 2 years ago, in 2021, he told them that Masjid al-Aqsa is considered a red light. And then they made the adhan come back in 24 hours into that ma'dan over there. Now this ma'dan over here is ma'dan Bab al-Silsila, and all the ma'dan in Masjid al-Aqsa. There's another one we'll show you when we get there. And over here, this is called Qubbat al-Silsila, which is a silsila dome. And when they built this one, they had to build this one first just to test, you know, to see if it works and how it is. And this is actually a small example of the big one over here, which is the Masjid al-Qibli. And they left it open for the Muslimin to pray inside and everything like that. Now, over here, we will see, of course, all the, yeah, go ahead.
How many masjids were in Masjid Al-Aqsa?
The thing is, the 2 big main ones is the Masjid the golden one and the silver one down there. That's 2 main ones. But right now, when the Yahud are putting their eye on Masjid al-Aqsa and trying to take over Masjid al-Aqsa, the Muslimin, every place where it's abandoned and no one can go inside, they would break in, and so the Yahud won't take it. Because I will tell you the story of Bab al-Rahma, the Intifada of Bab al-Rahma, where they tried to take Bab al-Rahma. So the Muslimin broke the doors open, and they turned it back into a musalla, like a masjid where they can pray in. So the Yahud won't take it because they're trying to tear down this Masjid al-Aqsa and turn it into a temple so the Dajjal will come. You know, that's what their plan is. Okay? So they're actually making the way for the Dajjal to come. And the what? You know the Dajjal?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah, our Dajjal. Okay? This is the second. Okay, we saw 2 of the Ma'danas. This is the 3rd one. And this is the 4th one. All right, we're coming back to this place. I'm going to show you a mountain here that you guys have heard of the name for very many times. Okay, now this is the mountain as we see on the hilltop. That's a church over there. Church of Sayyidina Maryam, the Virgin Mary Church. And it's the same road that Sayyidina Maryam took when she gave birth to Sayyidina Isa. All right. This is called Jabal al-Zaytun, or the Mount of Olives, where they are planning to, let me just go over that section so you can see where they're planning on killing their 5 cows, red cows. So they're planning on killing their 5 cows. We're just playing around. Okay, this is where they are planning on killing their 5 cows and then burning them or whatever, through and dust and everything. So they are allowed to enter the Masjid al-Aqsa. So the banning of entering the Masjid al-Aqsa would go. And this over here, what we see here all of those rocks, white rocks, is actually, all of this land is considered waqf Islamic. And they took it by force. It was only 1 meter that they rented. And they took the whole mountain. They kept on expanding and expanding like the Jews do. They kept on going wider and wider and wider until they took the whole side of that mountain and turned it to a Jewish cemetery. Each grave of those cemeteries is 100,000 K, you know, or $100,000 just to bury somebody in one of those graves in Al-Quds, right? So this is where they're planning on burying, slaughtering their five cows in order to go on with their world evil plans and, you know, turn into World War III, and the Dajjal will come. They will make the big Israel empire and take over Egypt and Jordan and the rest of the taken. So the wind is actually blowing me away off the mountain. So I'm going to be moving to this section. The clouds are amazing today. Okay, so and another thing about Jabal al-Zaytun is it's also called Jabal al-Tur. Where did you hear about Jabal al-Tur? Jabal al-Tur is referring to the story of Sayyidina Isa. Remember Sayyidina Isa, at the end of time, he will come and he will kill the Dajjal in a place called Bablud. That's in Palestine also. And he will kill the Dajjal next to the Ben Gurion airport, where the Dajjal will be running away to his mule or whatever it's running away with from the plane. So, trying to run away, Sayyidina Isa, when you hear Sayyidina Isa coming, he will run away to Bablud and trying to run off there. Now, what's in Bablud? Bablud is Ben Gurion airport right now. Long ago was Jaffa airport, okay? It was called Jaffa airport. When they came, they just changed the name from Jaffa airport the Palestinians built, and they changed it into an airport called Ben Gurion. So it was already there. There was already the airport there. There was already post offices. There was already cinemas and all those civilized, you know, things. There were colleges, schools, and everything was already there. So Sayyidina Isa, at the end of time, after he kills Dajjal and Bablud, and subhanAllah, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is a prophecy that Allah told us that he will be running to Bablud. Now we know why he will be running to Bablud, because you know, after a few, you know, 1,300 years, that's in the 19th century, Palestinians built an airport there, and then when they came, they didn't even tear down the same airport. They built an airport in the same place. They transferred the Palestinian airport to Yehudi airport. They called it a Ben Gurion airport. And this is where the Dajjal will be trying to run off from that section. You know, this is where he'll be trying to run off. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell we have sent a nation that no one will be able to defeat them, which is Ya'juj and Ma'juj, and he will tell them to run off with the mu'mineen that are left with him to At-Tur. Harriz ibadi ila, which means go with my servants, to At-Tur. That is referred to where Sayyidina Isa will run off to. Allahu A'lam. But let's put it this way. The word Tur in the Kanani old Palestinian language meant mountain. And we have 5 mountains in Palestine called the Tur. Okay? Very many places, very many mountains called the Tur. 3 to 4 to 5, I don't know how many, but what I know is I already know 3 or 4 mountains called the Tur. Now, there's also the Tur Sinai. In the Quran, there's the Tur of Sinai, which is Sinai, which is a desert in Egypt, which is next to Gaza, right next to Gaza. Okay, this is where the other Tur that was referred into the Quran. Will they be going to Sayyidina Isa? Will he be going to Tur Sinai? which is I most likely think that's going to happen, or will they be going to any other tours, or will it be a random mountain that has nothing referred to the tour that is written in the Quran and the other tours? Because we know the word tour, the definition means mountain. Okay, so Allahu A'lam, yani if we live or any of our generations to live, tell the story, and then Allahu A'lam what happens. And if we die as shuhada, may Allah, yani, inshallah, Rabbi will give us greatness level, even if yani don't, if it doesn't happen, yani, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the level, the status of shuhada, ya Rabbil Alam. What we'll see Aysha and the Jannah. Sorry. Eating will be a dhikr wa tasbih wa tahmeen wa tahleed. They won't have even food to eat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell them how to eat. So why is the starvation of Masjid happening? That's another hikmah, that's another wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Might see it this way, but there's another wisdom to it, is all of that is getting the Muslimin and the people in this area, you know, ready for what yet to come is coming. We're talking about the Muslimin and the Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Sayyidina Aysha. They will not have food to eat when the Ya'juj and Ma'juj come, and their food will be at-tasbih, wa-tahleed, wa-tahmid, wa-takbir. Wa la ilaha illallah. So those that are working in the medical field or anything like that, you want to start researching about the effects of the adhkar, yani, that's probably a research that you can do, you know, but we know that for sure that making dhikr makes the mu'min stronger. Okay, so these are all rooms for the imams. All of these are rooms for the imams. Okay. Now they took that section over there. Let's make a zoom in. Those are Yahud. They took this place and they made it into a police quarter or anything like something like that. This is Masjid al-Sakhra. We're here. Okay. And we saw it looks amazing at night. Let's go inside. Show you the cave inside. That one. The same places. Oh, open the mirror. Something, whatever, something, you know. And you'll find so many mihrabs, which means a prayer section, like this place. And they will tell you this is mihrab Zakaria, the mihrab of Zakaria, and this is mihrab of Maryam, this is the mihrab of Yahya. Do they have authenticity in referring to those mihrabs, referring to those prophets? No, there's no authenticity. But we know for sure this was, they weren't flying on the air, they weren't praying in the air, they were praying in all those sections, all the places. So is it possible that if this Nabi was praying in the section that they were referring to? Yes, of course. Where is he going to pray? This is the Masjid. Where is he going to go? You know? Now we're going inside this door all the way in. I hope you can see what's inside. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. All right. You see the calligraphy around here. All of this was made in the Umayyad time. Umayyad means 1400 years ago. The Khilafah, which means that this, you know, the relatives of Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan and his family and his kids and his descendants, they made this place with this kind of calligraphy. We'll notice here, you'll find that the fruits of the yeah, go ahead. Any questions? Okay, can you guys put mute for if there's a question, go ahead. If there's no question, maybe somebody forgot their mic open.
Yeah, Ustadha, where's the mihrab of Sayyidina Maryam?
Well, we're not there yet.
Okay.
Okay, but there's a mihrab of Zakaria. All right, now we're over here. We'll find that there's calligraphy. This is an oak tree over there. If you notice, is an oak tree, or a palm tree. Sorry about that. Oh, that's a banana tree. You see? And we know that the word banana or banan, you know, وطلح ممدود. And we see over there palm tree or date tree or whatever. And we'll see grapes as well. But the thing you will notice about the Islamic calligraphy is it does not use anything with soul. So all of it is you won't find birds, you won't find all those things. You'll just find lemon trees, rumman, which is pomegranate. You'll find, look at that tree over there. Okay, and around it, surrounded by a surah. Let me see which surah. يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Okay, so find a surah over here and another surah on the inside. All right. Now we're going. This is the cave down there. I'll tell you about the cave as we go down. Another surah on the inside, Surah Taha, ما أنزلنا عليك القرآن لتشقى, on the other side, and all of us. Take a picture of that as I go up. Let's explain about this. This is the Sakhrat of Bayt al-Maqdis. This is the dome of Bayt al-Maqdis. This is, people used to chip rocks from this place and take it as memory. And they surrounded it with this wooden like fence, prevented people from taking it. And if we see here, you can see it chipped from different places. People used to take, from memory, a few rocks from it and take it back to wherever they came from. And this is Sakhrat Bayt al-Maqdis. So Sakhrat Bayt al-Maqdis is not only this place. Sakhrat Bayt al-Maqdis is actually under the whole old city and under all of Al-Quds. And this is the section where we can see from it. Okay? So when they tell you Sakhrat Bayt al-Maqdis, all of Bayt al-Maqdis is under this big mountain. And we know the mountain is not a small rock. It's actually a big mountain that can take a few cities with it. So all of this is Sakhrat Bayt al-Maqdis. And we'll see a hole down there. That hole was built or was carved in by the Crusaders. You can see the top over here. They used to tie their pigs and whatever, and the blood would go down into the cave down there. Okay, so we'll go down there and we'll find a mihrab down there called Mihrab Zakaria. Let's go down to the cave. Now, this is a natural cave, so it wasn't carved in. It's naturally built like that. Nobody built it. But, it's there. When they built the Masjid Al-Aqsa, they left it. This is what's called Mihrab Zakaria. But does it have any reference to Sayyidina Zakaria alayhi salam? No, it does not. I mean, authenticity? No, it doesn't. Just a normal cave, naturally made. And this is where they used to slaughter the pigs and tie them up there, and the blood would, stream down, going up again. So there's so many fake stories about this cave, and some will say that it flew, that it was from the Jannah and all that. We have nothing else to say about that. It didn't fly, and we'll see very many fake stories about that. So none of it is true. And this is another mihrab. We'll find very many mihrabs, and it has no reference of what this mihrab is. Now, this is a place for perfume, all right, for the men to come inside. So it was sunnah. Of course, it is sunnah for men when they go to the masjid to put perfume, right? The Uthmaniyin built this small thing over here. Am I zooming in here? Okay, so the Uthmaniyin built this thing here, built it in order to apply and to make it easier for the Muslimin to apply the sunnah on themselves and to practice the sunnah. So the Muslimin would come from that door, from that door over there. They would come here, wipe their hand with the rock inside that has perfume. That way, when they shake hands with other Muslimin, they would have a good smell. Okay, so but it doesn't have to do anything. Someone will tell you that it's the riha or the perfume of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. All of that is considered fake stories for those that are not ulama. Okay, let's look at the calligraphy over here. It's amazing, all those windows and those circles. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Just zooming in. It's beautiful calligraphy. لا إله إلا القيوم. Allah. Well, this Ayat al-Kursi over here. Surah Taha over here. Okay. Over here, different kinds of calligraphy. On the top here. These are all new lanterns, lights. So this is the women's section, of course. And let's see if Bab al-Jannah is open. Bab al-Jannah is open. Okay, why is it called Bab al-Jannah? Is it really the gateway to the Jannah? No, it's not. It's, of course, Bayt al-Maqdis is the gateway to the heavens, as we know. But is this in particular the real gateway of al-Jannah? No, it's not. No, but they call it Bab al-Jannah. That's what they call it. Okay? So, for the women, it has 4 main entrances. The front door for the women, the back door for the women, and the side doors, you know, for whoever wants to come in. Okay? There we go. And going out Bab al-Jannah right now, and we see in front of us, okay, the question. What is this thing that is coming out the ground? And it has like a circle thing on the top of it. This. Who knows what this is? Who knows what this is? Over here. Jump to the mic and say your name. Say what it is. Okay, what's this? Does anybody know what this is?
It's a wing.
People, the citizens did not have a place of water. The well was actually it was flooded into all the sabids that I showed you in the beginning of the tour. And it was flooding all the sabids in al-Masjid. Okay, can somebody put mute for the people that got their mic open? Okay. This is called Qubbat al-Mi'raj. And we're referring to al-Isra al-Mi'raj. Is it the place of where Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made Isra al-Mi'raj? The Isra. Okay, co-hosts, can you guys put mute for the people that forgot their mic open? Okay, this is called Qubbat al-Mi'raj. And referring to the journey of Isra al-Mi'raj, where Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam made his journey from Mecca to al-Masjid al-Aqsa, and of course from here to the skies, to the heavens with the Anbiya. All right, this is al-Masjid al-Aqsa, Masjid Qubbat al-Sakhra. These are all the gateways here. All of those small domes are, you know, as I said before, for the guards, for whatever. This is over here. There's also a room which they made for people that work in Masjid al-Aqsa as well. Now, under that place, inside, well, we can't go inside right now. There's actually space for i'tikaf. And they found like a small hole, or not a hole, a square place section in this room. And when they opened it and they dug in, they found a small i'tikaf section with a mihrab, isolated from all of the outside world. Now, they left this small place as a window and a circulation, a ventilator, or whatever you want to call it, for okay, so there's a small i'tikaf room with a small mihrab down there for Ayyubi, which means Salah ad-Din Ayyubi time, where the Muslims would sit there and do their dua and do their adhkar and make their i'tikaf in the Masjid al-Aqsa, away from anyone that anyone can see. Over here is called Hajar al-Khadr. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Around here somewhere. Oh, there it goes. See? It made this wall like a mihrab kind of a thing here. It's called al-Khat. All right? But does it really have any authenticity? No, it doesn't have any authenticity for being. But they say maybe Al-Khadr alayhi salam, you know, the person with Sayyidina Musa in the end of the story of Al-Kahf, that he prayed here or something like that. Allahu A'lam. You know, some stories buried a long time ago, and we don't know if these stories are right or not. It's just a, you know, a rock that was referred to Sayyidina Al-Khadr. Allahu A'lam. Most likely they're just, you know, stories with no reference, and we as Muslimin, we don't take stories just like that. We need authenticity to make sure about the story that we narrate. Okay, so we're gonna go to Bab al-Asbat right now. These are all rooms. Oh, wait a second. We're going to Bab al-Asbat. I will tell you. Now, it was in 1940s, or no, 1920s. Now, when all of the invasion of the Middle East came, vicious occupations happened to the West, to the whole world, and they put all those borders and they split the nations and they started dividing the nations into, this is for Germany, this is for Britain, this is for France to occupy, and this is, you know, for the colonized places. Of course, Dawla al-Uthmaniyya, which means the Uthmani Empire, declared jihad. And when they declared jihad, all of those that were able to make jihad, were able to make jihad, went and made jihad with the Dawla al-Uthmaniyya. Now the Dawla al-Uthmaniyya lost the war in World War I, and then after that led to the occupation of so many places. And there came a man, one of those men was called Muhammad, was called Salih, right? He was from Yemen. He came and he said, I will not the wasiyah or the amana of Rasulullah, I will stay guarding al-Masjid al-Aqsa. He was actually a Uthmani soldier. He fought with the Dawla Uthmaniyya to protect al-Masjid al-Aqsa. And he stayed here until the 1980s. So he left his family in the 1980s. And he was 80 something years old, and he passed away as a shaheed. So even after the falling of the Khilafah Islamiyya, the falling of the Muslim Ummah and everything, he lived in a room, one of those rooms over here. This is where he used to live. And then another man also as well, he stayed here for also till 2011. He was called Hajj Hussein. He was also called Hajj Hussein. He was actually from Hijaz. He was actually, which was called right now Saudi Arabia. And he used to live in this room over here. And he was a guard for Masjid al-Aqsa for 80 years. And he refused to leave al-Masjid al-Aqsa for 80 years. Even going out and buying food or anything, he would just ask the guards to buy him what he needs. He would just usually have, zayt za'atar, which means za'atar and olive oil, his main dish, and just tea. This is what his main dish is, and just eat and sitting on his maslaha, his tasbih, and doing his adhkar and doing his dhikr. This is his room. Right now it's empty, just filled with books. And everyone would come here and just say assalamu alaikum to them. Okay, this is a zawiyah. Now the thing is, after he left in 2011, that's about 12 years ago, he was 111 years old. That was his first time to leave al-Masjid al-Aqsa since 80 years. So he came here as a young man and he never left. And then he started asking the people, what happened to the camels that were in Damascus Gate? So he was actually talking about in the 1930s, you know, when he first came to Masjid al-Aqsa, he promised, he swore he will never leave Masjid al-Aqsa. And he never even left the gates of Masjid al-Aqsa till 2011 when he was taken to the hospital when he became very ill. So you can imagine how much this person. Yeah, go ahead, Ukhti.
Is this the place where he used to live, or this the place where he used to guard?
This is the place. Well, after he became 80, they put him for they. Khalas, he resigned. Yeah, and he just stayed there, and they give him a special room to live in, because you know he has no other place to go, and he's been here even before the Dawla, even before the Jordanian government came. He was a guard of Masjid al-Aqsa. He stayed here. Yeah, and he was older than the Jordanian government, older than older than all the governments right now. This is where he stayed, and this is where he lived. So he's, subhanallah, yani he swore and he kept his promise that he will never leave Masjid al-Aqsa, and they forced him after he was 111 years old. They forced him out. They carried him. He was very thin and only eating za'atar and olive oil and refusing to eat anything else. He's just on his tasbih all day long and drinking his tea.
Now, Ustadha,
nothing. He used to make wudu on this.
Can you please repeat the name of the man?
Hajj Hussein.
Okay, Jazakallah.
Hajj Hussein. He was from Hijaz. He used to get out on this tree. I used to see him and make wudu under the olive trees over here, and go back to his room. That's all he used to do. That's it. And make dhikr. And he was like, I'm here to guard the masjid of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And these are the olive trees that he used to pick from the olive trees and eat from them. And that's it. People would come and bring with them his za'atar and his olive oil. And that's what he did. He didn't want anything else. And he lived for 15 or 17 years. He was taking care of a family in Bayt al-Maqdis. His family members are from Saudi. It's Bani Fatima. Okay, that's his family. Members are from. It's in the southern part of Hijaz, which is Saudi Arabia, close to Yemen. And what I know is some people from his family contacted him, and they knew that he was alive. They thought he was dead. That was 50 or 70 years ago. They knew that he went for jihad. We're talking about two people. One of them died as a shaheed in 1980 when the Masjid al-Aqsa got burnt, and he was 80 years old. He was Yemeni, and one of them was from Bilad al-Haramain, which is called Saudi Arabia now, which is not referring to Saudis, but they call it Saudi Arabia. But this is how I can tell you to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. Now we're going to Bab al-Asbat to tell you more about Bab al-Asbat right now. Oh, I didn't tell you about Bab al-Rahmah. That's very important to tell about. Going through and just walking through the beautiful oak trees and the beautiful trees of Masjid al-Aqsa. This is for the birds. Okay, on the other side of the wall is the cemetery of the Muslimin. In that cemetery, of course, if you guys are ready to listen for me to keep on going, I don't know how much you guys want the class, or the tour, but just walking through will take me 10 or 15 minutes and to get there. All of these olive trees are considered waqf. Anyone can come in and randomly pick the olive trees and make their own olives at home, or turn them into, olive oil and everything like that. So, of course, olive oil in Palestine is considered the best in the whole world, alhamdulillah. And it's not like the American or the Western olive oil, totally different. Just tasting the olive oil in Palestine and tasting the ones in the West, I was like, oh, what is this? You know, it was terrible. But the olive oil in Palestine, it has like a when it's fresh, it has like a little burn to the mouth, and it tastes amazing. Since you feel, you smell the soil, you smell everything. It's clean. It doesn't have soil, but you feel the freshness and يعني it's original. It's not mixed with any other oils, you know. So we're going to Bab al-Rahma right now. Bab al-Rahma, this is one of the gates of Al-Quds as well. Not only a gate for Masjid Al-Aqsa, but also a gate for Al-Quds. The caravans, Salah ad-Din and before, and the Crusaders' time, used to come from this place as well. This was also considered an entrance. Let's go get closer. As I said before, the Umayyads, when they saw that the Masjid Al-Aqsa was in a few levels, they built musallayat, which is masjids on the bottom, so they can rise the masjid to be all in one layer. All right. Okay, let's explain this place. It's called Bab al-Rahma. This is where, now in the 1995 and up, we used to make lots of lessons here. Halaqas will come here and everything. But the Yahud prevented because to make halaqas here. And why did they do so? Is because they believe that the entrance of their temple is going to be from this place. They call it the golden gate, right? But it's not called the Golden Gate because that's the entrance. Now we can see here two like columns here or arches here. Okay. Now all of that was open. It was considered the gateway to Al-Quds from here. There was stairs. It was considered you go up. And but I said that Umayyads made it straight and they paved it so it can be easier for people to walk around and everything. You know, it was you go up here and then climb a mountain and everything. You climb a mountain and go up. Any questions? Okay, so this was considered the doorway. Let me go down the stairs. One of the doorways of Al-Quds, all right? And if you go back to the map, I told you to make a screenshot for that. If you go back to the map, it's one of the doors on the sides of the square where it's still on the sides of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Okay, so this is the gateway. Now, who built this? Some even refer to the jinn built it. We don't know who built it. It's built very, very long time ago. We don't know who built this. But, يعني, if we go inside.
Is this the gate where
yeah, go ahead.
is said to appear?
Could you say it again?
Is this the gate where it is said that Isa alayhi salam will appear?
No. Isa alayhi salam will appear in Damascus, in al-Manar al-Bayda, not in Palestine. He will come to Palestine from Damascus, from Manar al-Bayda. Okay, not in Palestine. Okay, now this is an entrance. If you see here, there's small rocks, but if you look on the sides, there's bigger rocks. Okay, now this was built in an era, and this was built in a different era. Okay, this was actually an entrance to the old city and Masjid Al-Aqsa. This is one of them is called Bab al-Rahma, the other one is called Bab al-Tawbah. One here and one there. All right. Now, Salah ad-Din Ayyubi, when he found that this place was considered a weak sect, he told the Muslim, he closed this and so the Yahud, so the Crusaders will not come and invade the city from this section. All right. So they will not invade this place from this section. Now, the Yahud in the 2015, something like that, they came here and they placed in the 2000. All right? They closed the doors with chains and they locked it. You see, one of the doors is broken. See? You have one on this side, but the other side is not open. Why? It's because the Muslimin, the murabitin and the mu'takifin, they came here, and you're talking about, you know, lots of Palestinians still in jail right now, accusations that will keep them in jail for 10, 12, and sometimes 20 years in jail for false accusations. So they broke the gate here. See, it's broken. And they came inside and they made i'tikaf. And they, you know, concentrated that in the media that they can. Just a second. Okay. أنا في حصة يا أم سلام. باب الرحمة أنا في حصة سلام. Okay. So what happened was the young men, they're okay. As I said before, they're trying to make this place the entrance of their temple. Okay. And this was considered a gateway to Al-Quds. The caravans would come, camels with all the goods from Damascus and Damascus and everything. It would come from this section. What he did was he piled up a mountain on the other side, and he closed the doors from the other sides just to prevent it from becoming a weak place for Al-Quds and for the invasions. Outside right now is called the cemetery of Al-Rahmah, and where we have lots of Quds, lots of ulama, lots of scholars that used to live Ayyubi time, Salahuddin Ayyubi time. All of the times they used to come here and they would be buried over here. Okay, another significance about this is Imam al-Ghazali, when he came here to Bayt al-Maqdis, he noticed that there's lack of spirituality in people's ibadah and everything. People would concentrate on ahkam fiqhiyya and the difference between the ulama's opinions, and they're not really, the dhikr, the adhkar, and the tazkiyah was not really, they were not concentrating on it. And he saw that this is one of the reasons of the weakness of the Ummah Islamiyya at that time, and this is why the invasions would come, is that the people needed to really connect themselves with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he sat here for a few years, and he wrote his book called Ihya Ulum ad-Din, which is reviving the science of Deen, of, you know, the sciences of Deen. He wrote this book, and over here we have a mastaba as well. It's called Mastabatul Ghazali, referring to Al-Imam al-Ghazali. And this is where he made i'tikaf for 6 years just to write his book, Ihya Ulum ad-Din. This is Iraq, and we know all of this Ummah Islami was considered one. There was no borders, there was no nothing, and yet to come it will be again like before, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, this is Mastabat al-Imam al-Ghazali. Okay, I'll show you the place up there later on, but I'm here and I'm going to go to, I don't know if you guys want to see the cemetery where I can show you the grave of Al-Hajj Hussein and Ayman al-Salih. Well, there's lots to see, to be honest with you. Okay, so we'll see the grave of Ayman al-Salih. This is called Dar al-Hadith. Dar al-Hadith, it's a place, I don't know why it was given Dar al-Hadith, but it's a new name, but giving Dar al-Hadith. It's actually, there's a grave there called, the alim was called Sulaiman, and so many of the tourists that come here think that it's Sulaiman alayhi salam, and when you tell them it's not Sulaiman alayhi salam, they will fight you and they will tell you, what do you know? It's like, I'm from here, Habibti, Allah, this is Sulaiman the alim, not Sulaiman alayhi salam. So this is very important for people when they come here, is ask the people of the country and they will tell you. Not every Sulaiman is Sulaiman alayhi salam. Not every Isa is Isa alayhi salam. There's also a mihrab called Mihrab Isa, and they think it's Isa alayhi salam. It's not Mihrab Isa, it's Mihrab the Khalifa called Isa. He's a Khalifa called Isa. Just, you know the name, but they referred it to Isa alayhi salam instead of Mihrab Isa al-Mu'azzam, which is a Khalifa. All right. Also the wall of the old city. Going to the cemetery right now. Okay, Over here we see the old city. Over here, the churches of the old city, we can see them from here. Here's one church, here's the other church. And this is where Sayyidina Umar al-Khattab, when he came to Bayt al-Maqdis, I'll be telling this story right now. When Sayyidina Umar al-Khattab came to Bayt al-Maqdis, to Al-Quds, he came and he was rotating with his servant on a mule. It wasn't a donkey, it wasn't a horse, it was a mule. It was between this and that. Okay, and he was يعني rotating between them. This is Masjid. This is al-Madrasa al-Shar'iyya, which is the Sharia school. It's an elementary school plus a secondary school. Elementary on that side and secondary over here. It teaches all the physics, English, Arabic, math, and all those. It also teaches ulum hadith. It also teaches usul fiqh, tafsir, نظام الحكم في الإسلام, the system in Islam, how to, zakah and everything like that. It teaches حفظ Quran al-Kareem and all that. The only Sharia school in Al-Quds, only. This is the boys section, and the girls section is where the Madrasa Tankiziyya is, close to that section over there where I showed you in the beginning of the tour. Okay, let's go out. Bab al-Asbat. Now, Bab al-Asbat. Where did we hear the word Asbat before? Right? Okay, al-Asbat is referring to the 12 tribes of Bani Israel. Remember when Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he was ordered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take Bani Israel to Bayt al-Maqdis, and they told him, you go with your Lord and we're not going anywhere. You go fight with your Lord and we're not fighting with you. Okay, so that was referring to the Asbat. All right, this is called Bab al-Asbat. If you see here, referring to that doorway. This is another cemetery for very many people that passed away, Shuhada, for the 19th, for different, for the Britain time. We see Shuhada Palestine 1963 over here, it says. Okay, the names of Shuhada. Shaheed Salih Muhammad al-Yamani over here. This is the Shaheed Salih al-Yamani. This is the Yemeni Shaheed that I told you about. He's the one that came from the Yemen and didn't leave, and then he died as a Shaheed when the burning of the Masjid Al-Aqsa happened, or 1970 something. After that, he was shot and killed. Yeah, and alhamdulillah, he took the Shahada after all this guarding of the Masjid Al-Aqsa. Okay, this is a Mi'dhana. This Mi'dhana was actually torn down in 1967, I think. It's Mi'dhana. It's torn down. In the 1967 war, what happened was this Mi'dhana was torn down. I don't know if you can see, is it clear? This Badr was torn down. A Iraqi mujahid stood up on top of this Ma'dana over there, and he had only one bomb in his hand, the last one in his hand. And he was waiting for the troops of the Yahud to come close, and he sat there in that Ma'dana waiting for them to gather around, and so he would throw his bomb. And they gathered around into that Ma'dana, around this section over here, and he threw the bomb at them, and he killed with one bomb 67 occupiers at that time. Now, what the Yahud did was they bombed this Ma'dana in revenge, and the Shaheed, the Iraqi mujahid, passed away. He died as a Shaheed. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept his Shahada. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. I'm going to silence until the adhan finishes, inshallah ta'ala.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول
الله.
حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله لا
الله أكبر الله أكبر. صلى الله عليه وسلم. Okay, so we just finished. This is the Adana في المسجد الأقصى live from the Quds, صلاة العصر.
على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين.
صلى الله على سيدنا Muhammad. We're going down to the cemetery right now and to see the cemetery and show you a few things in the cemetery. The graves of the two of the Sahaba, Ubadah ibn Samit and Shaddad ibn Aus, two of the Sahaba. Now, Umar ibn Khattab entered from this door. This is called Bawabat Ariha or Ariha. All right. This is leading road that Mary Sayyida Maryam alayhi salam that she took. This is called al-Madrasa al-Salahiyya. Okay, this was actually a school that Salah ad-Din Ayyubi, another sabil over here. Can you see the sabil? And there's this like a tub down there. Can you see it? See it? It's called sabil, a public water fountain built in the 16th century, also named the area Sabil Sitna Maryam, due to, sorry about that, the place where Virgin Mary was born according to Christian tradition. So this is where Sitna Maryam alayhi salam, according, we don't have authenticity about her birthplace, but this is where the birthplace of Sitna Maryam, according to the Christians that they say. We know Sitna Maryam was born in Palestine, but whereas we don't know exactly where, but it's closed right now. Let me see if it's open. It's closed. I should have showed you the cave that they told she was born there. But this is the path that Sitna Maryam, that where she lived, according to Allahu A'lam, and according to the hadith. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us, if the Ahlul Kitab, the people of the book, told you something and it does not contradict the Kitab and the Sunnah, like a story of where Sitna Maryam was born or anything, and don't believe them and don't say that they are liars. We should stay silent, because Allahu A'lam, because some of it could be true and some it could not be true. Allahu A'lam, we have to stay silent about that. The Yahud closing the section here. This is a cemetery over here, and on the other side also a cemetery, and this is also called the Lion's Gate. And of course, we see here, this is called the Lion's Gate. Why the Lion's Gate? Because this is, because of the lions here. And why did they put the lions here? Because this is where all the great rulers that ruled or took over Palestine, this is the door, the gateway where they came into Palestine. Okay, Sayyidina Umar Khattab, let me say the story. He came from this section. And on the top over here was the Roman Empire at that time, not empire, but the ruler that was called, his name was Sophronius. And then Sayyidina Umar Khattab was driving his mule with his servant, was riding it on with his servant. One time they would take turns. One time Sayyidina Umar Khattab, and then another he would rest, and then his servant will also ride on the mule. So when it was time to reach Al-Quds, the mule it was the servant's time to sit on the mule, and Sayyidina Khattab was wearing his thawb, which had 14 ruq'as, which means it was 14 holes in it, which were sewed back again, and it was fixed again, but it wasn't a new thawb, it wasn't new clothes. And then they were like, Sophronius was up, and he was looking there, and they were like, this is the Khalifa of their Muslimin, this is their Khalifa. And when Ubayd ibn al-Jarrah came and he opened Palestine, he told them, sorry, but you don't fit for the descriptions of who's going to come and going to rule Palestine, and we have a description of a different man, so go bring us your Khalifa to come. And this is when Umar Khattab came to open Bayt al-Maqdis himself, and they said he was a bald, blackish man, tall man, and this is descriptions of Sayyidina Umar Khattab that would open. They said this is the same descriptions of the man that we were told in our scriptures that he was going to rule Bayt al-Maqdis. And they saw him standing next to the mule while the servant was sitting over the mule. And they were like, where's your Khalifa? And they were like, there he is. And they were pointing down to Umar al-Khattab. And he was like, what? The servant on the mule? He was like, no, the one next to him. Was like, this is the description that we were given in our scriptures of the person that's going to be ruling Bayt al-Maqdis. And they handed over the keys, and he opened, and he came into Al-Quds from this door, which is the door called the door of the Lion's Gate, or Lion's Gate, referring to, the lion is the king of the jungle. So referring to the great leaders or the strong leaders that all came from this exact door to rule Al-Quds and Jerusalem. This is also Maqbarat Bab al-Rahma. We have two main graves here, which is the graves of two Sahaba. One of them is Ubadah ibn Samit. I'm going to go really fast in there. because it's kind of long, you know. So, cemetery for the Muslimin, the timing says 1967. If you see the grave over there, 1967. The very old graveyards. If we go and dig up in there, we, you know, not dig up, I mean, like, search inside, we'll find graveyards that are like 13 something, 12 something, whatever, and that are really old. Very old graves here. Okay, so right now we're gonna see Al-Hajj Hussein's the old man. Hajj Hussein Hijazi, he died in 2011. Okay. 2011, right? This is when he passed away. So I think they took him out a few years from 2011. I think it was, I don't know, 2007 or something. But he passed away in 2011, and he lived, I don't know, 117 or 111 years old, something like that. And that's about it. This is Jamil Hamami, which is also another person that led very many Islamic schools in Palestine. All of those are cemeteries for very many Palestinian and Maqdisi and, you know, families. I'm going to go straight forward to the Sahaba's graves to show you the Sahaba's graves and tell you a little bit about those Sahaba. Then go back to Masjid Al-Aqsa and continue the tour over there. Okay. Sahabi. There is one here. Is that one of them? No, it's not one of them. There he goes. Ubadah ibn Samit. So we're not supposed to step on the graves. You're supposed to step on the sides of the graves. Right? This is the Qabr al-Sahaba, al-Sahabi al-Jalil, Ubadah ibn Samit. He passed away in 24 Hijri. Okay? Not long ago from, this is where he was buried. And Ubadah ibn Samit was considered from the old Sahaba, which means he was he referred to Islam when he was an old man. Okay? He was old. And he was one of the first judges of Islam, Ubadah ibn Samit. He was one of the first judges of Islam. You can understand why. The older you get, the wiser you get, you know? So he passed away 24 Hijri, and we know that that's after Umar ibn Khattab, you know? Yeah. Okay, let's go to right now Shaddad ibn Aus, all very old graves, 1993 over here. This one, baby's grave here. All very old graves. I'm trying to look for a year. هذا رقم مرحوم الحاج, old grave, 24. No year here. Okay, now this was wiped out through time. This is 97, 99. All old graves. Okay, this is 1413. How much is that? 1413. We're what? We're 44 or 45 or 46. I don't know how much we are. 14 something. Usually. Okay. Very old graves. This is many graves. Look at that. Of course, it's not sunnah to do that. It's bid'ah to build graves on the top and to build a dome over the grave. The sunnah is not to do that. Okay, this is 1369. That's about 100 years ago. 80 years ago. Okay. Very, very old, but Uthmani time. This is 1292. Okay, 1292. That's like 100 and something years old. All right. So this is Shaddad ibn Aus. He died in 58 Hijri. Also another Sahabi that died and passed away in Bayt al-Maqdis. These are the two main graves that are known for the two main Sahaba, Shaddad ibn Aus and Ubadah ibn Samit. They have a hadith that are narrated, and they are narrators of hadith as well, Shaddad ibn Aus and Ubadah ibn Samit. Now in Palestine, is this the only Sahaba that died in Palestine? No, there's a place called Amwas. while you are going to on the way that you're going to Tel Aviv or Tel Aviv, on that way, which let's not go too much into history why it's called Tel Aviv. It's a Jewish name, but there's no such thing as Tel Aviv. They took a few cities, Palestinian cities, and they tore them down, and they called at the end Tel Aviv, which is the Tel means Tel, which means a valley of the springs. They tore them down and they built this new city called Tel Aviv, which means with the land of the valley of spring, right? So on the way over there, you will see a place called Imwas. You just Google on YouTube or Google, just put the name Imwas, Ain, Mim, Waw, Alif, Sin. Put the name Imwas there, and you will find the cemeteries where there was 20,000 of the Sahaba were buried there because a pandemic happened and they died from a pandemic over there. And then Umar al-Khattab said he ordered that whoever is there, so the pandemic would not, because in Islam, when a pandemic happens, you're not allowed to leave the city, and people are not allowed to go enter a city where there's a pandemic. Okay, so there in Islam it's haram to do so. This is a ruling in Islam. It's a hukum shar'an. Okay, so 20,000 of the Sahaba passed away in Palestine when they were opening the Palestine. Did that tell them to go back? They're like, oh my God, it's a bad sin from Allah that we're not doing the right thing. Like some people that are, no, because they know they are walking on the Kitab and Sunnah. So the way you rule life is not by watching signs and looking like some other groups of the Muslimin do, but the way to do it is to follow the Kitab, and then you walk your life. The Kitab says that you will, and Sunnah say that you will find hardships while you're going through the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will be tested. Will that shake your heart? Will that shake you? What will you be doing? Okay? Got a pandemic? That is a tila from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What will you do? You'll think that's from the shaitan? Or you'll think that, because we don't look for signs if we have Kitab and Sunnah. We don't look for signs. When we have Kitab and Sunnah that tell us that we're ordered to make jihad, we're ordered to open Palestine, we're ordered to do this, we're ordered to spread Islam and all that, and there's no need for jihad. As long as you're walking on the right path, you're doing the Kitab and Sunnah, and you're doing right, then whatever you face, consider it as an ibtila and keep on going. Don't look back. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the Samideen and from the Thabiteen. It's prayer time in Masjid Al-Aqsa right now. Asr prayer in Masjid Al-Aqsa. Allahu Akbar. Going back to Masjid Al-Aqsa to finish the tour, to finish off. So a long time ago, they used to have these places, and over here you would find holes in the walls where they used to, the archery or whatever you call it, where they would, with the arrows, everyone coming to invade, they would, using a bow and arrow, they would, shoot them down and, take a peek. See over here? You can see over here, there's an opening where they can throw their archery or their bow and arrows from here, and then, try to, and there they have stairs also where you can go up next to that wall, and they would throw, pour down some hot oils and stuff like that to defend the walls from any invasion, whoever is coming to invade. Allah. Allah. I'm just going to move away from the prayer section so I don't disturb them while they're praying. All of these, they rebuilt after the Iraqi Mujahid bomb. This is the same that I told you about. After he bombed it, it was rebuilt again 1969. Okay, so the Palestinians are not really familiar with oak trees, and they don't like oak trees. They prefer trees that produce fruits. So they would plant olive trees and everything. But when the Yahud came to Palestine, they exported oak trees from Britain in order to be planted. Now these were planted by Palestinians, all right? But they brought all those trees from Britain, 2 million of them, and they wanted to make Palestine a cooler place for the European Jewish people to come here, except to live here because it was more hotter weather. So these kind of trees make it cooler, and they wanted to make it suitable for the Jewish people to come and live here. All of these were prevented by the Yahud for renovation. They don't allow renovation in here. Even if a bag of cement would come into Masjid Al-Aqsa, the Yahud on the gateways, if you see, I was in the doors, but coming in the doors, you saw how the Yahud with their guns are sitting there, and they refuse for the Muslimin to do any kind of renovation. Okay, let's keep on going. Well, I still did half of the way. This is the mutawadda, where the men's section make wudu over here. So let's give it a little privacy. This is Bab Fiqh, referring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Bani Israel to come inside the masjid and say, وَقُولُوا وَحِطَّةٌ نَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ خَطَايَاكُم. Say hitta, say astaghfirullah when you enter Masjid Al-Aqsa, and when you enter Palestine, say astaghfirullah and say hitta, which means say astaghfirullah. And so they changed the word hitta, and they started saying that they wanted wheat, they wanted flour, they wanted to exchange the food that they were eating, they didn't like food, everything like that. Okay? بدل الذين ظلموا قولا غير الذي قيل لهم فأنزلنا على الذين ظلموا رجزا من السماء ما كانوا يفسقون. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exchanged them, and even the Nabi of Akhir al-Zaman, when the Yahud were living in the Medina, they were telling the Arab in the Medina, we're going to be having a prophet coming soon, and he's going to be coming in the land of palms, and he's going to this, and we're going to kill you all, we're going to slaughter you all. So when the Nabi came from the Arab, the Yahud were like, he's not from us, we're not going to believe in him. He's not from Bani Israel, we're not going to believe in him. So this is why they rejected the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And one of the Sahaba, he was a former Jew, and then he reverted to Islam. He said to the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he wanted to see the signs of the prophecy that he was a prophet, and he showed him his back, where the alamat al-nubuwah, where the sign of nubuwah was in his back, a prophecy, and he showed him a few things. Then he gave him a gift, and he gave him a sadaqah, and he refused to take the sadaqah. That's another sign of the prophet. And he asked them things about يسألونك عن الروح يسألونك. All of those يسألونك were Bani Israel, and Quraysh were asking, were the Yahud asking, asking Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Quraysh also asking. All of those in the Quran refer to يسألونك. You will find the most of them referring to the Yahud asking. يسألونك عن الروح يسألونك عن ذي القرنين يسألونك. All those, many of them are from the Yahud that were asking. يسألونك عن الأهلة. All of those are questions. Many of them were questions that were asked by the Yahud. Now, one of the Sahaba, he was a Yahudi. He was one of the big Yahud in Medina, and he was asked he asked the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam about, questions that were. Okay, so I don't know. Should I stop the tour here? Because he's not going to. He started now. It's Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Then there's more to come. So I don't know what to do. Let me see if it can. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, over here is the Masjid al-Madrasa al-Umariyya. This is called al-Madrasa al-Umariyya. Madrasa al-Umariyya to referring to Umar al-Khattab. You find so many things called Umariyya, Umariyya. All right? So, all referring to Umar al-Khattab. Umar al-Khattab saw this place was a weak section for Masjid al-Aqsa. He built the school, Islamic school, of course, teaching all the ulum of Sharia. Now the Yahud, they changed the curriculum of the school. And their plan was to take over the school and to turn it into a Jewish school. How do they do that? Is they changed the curriculum of all the schools of Jerusalem, all of them. All the curriculum is changed. Now, my kids, they don't take books with them to school. What they do is, the teachers are not allowed to take their books to school, the Palestinian curriculum. Instead, they're supposed to take the Israeli curriculum, or the school will be closed. So they refuse to take the Israeli curriculum, yet they take it on, online, study from that page to that page and then come back. And the teacher would, explain from like a projector or whatever, the curriculum. So now the school is not very active. Very little students come here because the curriculum and the school is very, very weak in its teachings. And this is all part of the agenda of taking over this very, very big school that is, you can see a Masjid al-Aqsa here, right next to Masjid al-Aqsa. Another mihrab, olive trees that were built here just to make it cool, that were planted here just to make it over here we see a house here. These are the houses that you guys see. This is the houses. These are one of the houses that you see when they take pictures of Masjid al-Aqsa. Also, we see colors. That means it's Mamluk time. Another gates for Al-Quds, for Masjid al-Aqsa. If you see here, people are coming into this gate. It's called Babul Majlis. So there's the Majlis for the Qada over there. Majlis means a court, for the Qada over there. This is Babul Majlis. Over there on the top there was a bab called Babul Ghawanima, referring to a family called Ghawanima. Okay, so that in 2000 something, they burnt that door over there. You Yahud settlers, they burnt the door trying to come in Masjid al-Aqsa, and they were beat up by the Muslimin. They came and they beat them up, and then they left. So somebody sent on the WhatsApp, there's Yahud, they burnt the Bab al-Ghawanima. Everyone come and everything, and everyone came, and then they beat them up, and then they left. Of course, the Muslims get arrested, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends other people, like they say, the spirit of a man revives another man's spirit, that's a saying in Arabic here, نفس الرجال بيحيي رجال, which means, they arrest some people, they make other people shaheed, but while they're doing so, they are reviving other people's souls and coming back to Islam and taking the role of the people that have passed away or that were arrested. Oh, we're back to Hajj Hussein's house or room over here. It's a wonderful, beautiful place. Different kinds of trees. There's a lemon tree, if you can see. Let me see. I have to smell it first. Yep, that's a lemon tree. So you know a lemon tree, say it smells citrus. You just rub it your hands like this and you smell it. Another lemon tree here. And this is the blossoms of a lemon tree. The most beautiful blossom is the lemon tree blossom.
Now,
Yeah.
yes, what's the wisdom behind the lot of tree in the Masjid Al-Aqsa again, please?
What is it? The wisdom of planting? The wisdom is, first of all, to make it cooler for the musallin, for the prayers to pray in, to make it cooler. And also, right now we can't plant anything. Even if I bring a small plant of mint, I brought a few mint plants, and you know, mint has spreads really fast. You know, if you plant it somewhere, and then the whole garden will become mint. You know, but the Yahud, whenever they make a big searching, if they see any new plants planted, they take it out.
Oh.
So Yahud, يعني, what do you expect? يعني, yep. Yeah. So we're going back to Masjid Al-Aqsa. This is a brief tour. Sorry about that. It's probably been, how many hours have we been doing this?
Over 2 hours.
Like 2 hours. Okay, you guys want me to continue or should we end the class?
You must be tired. We are loving it.
No, I'm used to it.
Ustadha, you are fasting. You need to take a break too.
Oh, I'm Palestinian, ya Khadija. Don't worry. Okay, let me show you other things.
Okay, inshallah.
Okay, you guys want to rotate in Al-Quds? Let's go rotate in Al-Quds right now.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Go ahead.
I just want to ask if the recording will be said or not, because it's very detailed and we are really loving it. Thank you so much. Jazakallah khair. Allah reward you for it.
Allah, can you repeat your question, please?
I just wanted to know if the recording will be shared with us, because this is very detailed and we're really loving it. Allah reward you for it, inshallah.
Yeah, I think it is recorded.
So
I think it is recorded.
Will it be shared?
Yeah, I think I'll share it on the Gems of Light groups, I guess.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we're taking you out of Masjid Al-Aqsa right now. A little bit tour in al-Balad al-Qadima, the old city. How about that?
That's cool.
Okay. Khalas. Khadija says, okay, we're going to go with Khadija. These are all for leaders of Al-Quds that have passed away. They're buried in these houses, these rooms. Over there, there's rooms, windows where people were buried a long time ago of Al-Quds. Burials of people of Al-Quds, shuhada and everything. They were سيدنا العلامة محمد مدير الشافعي المقدسي من جد عائلة البدري. This is the عائلة البدري's grandfather. He was a da'i, he was a alim, and this is where he was if you watch Al Jazeera, you'll find reporters from the Buderi family. Their grandfather, that's their grandfather. That's their great, I don't know how many greats there are, that's their grandfather. Now we're going to Bab al-Majlis, Majlis al-Islami. That's here. Bab al-Majlis. This is the courtroom that was done the Mamluki time. How do we know Mamluki? Red blocks, colorful blocks. Okay, this is where it was. This is a very famous library from the first libraries in Al-Quds since a very long time ago. We're going out here and we're seeing الناس اللي بدناش نشوفها. This is another Okay, we're going down here. Over here, Maktabat al-Badri. This is al-Badri library. They have libraries from their great-grandfather and before where, you know, see if we can go inside. Well, it's closed now, but this is the Badri family's library. And over here is Ala al-Busayri. This is the Busayri. Remember the Busayri, the guy that made the Burda? مولاي صلي وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. You know that song? That
Yes,
nasheed?
yes.
That's his place. That's where he was
Oh.
buried. Sorry.
Allah Akbar.
Yeah, that's where he's buried. This is al-Busayri. Yep, that same Busayri. Okay, over here also lives the African quarter. This is where the African quarter is, the Mujahideen from Salah ad-Din Ayyubi time, and throughout all the history. It says here, Al-Jaliya al-Ifriqiyya, Al-Haq la yasqut bit-taqadum. Okay, this is where the Jaliya Afriqiyya, the African quarter is. And of course, it's not really just for them, but you know, it's for everyone. But this is where they centered. They came from Senegal, Nigeria, all around Chad and everywhere, all around Africa. And they lived here to make ribat and i'tikaf in Masjid Al-Aqsa. Very nice people, beautiful people, mashallah alayhum, just like all the Muslimin. They're very, very nice people. And they sat here and lived here. They're treated even differently from the Yahud. There's racism following them even worse than the Yahud. Even the racism follows even the Jewish Africans, you know? So Allah al-Musta'an, yani. Oh, look at that beautiful Osmani. Sorry about that. Beautiful Osmani balcony. That is amazing. But it needs renovation, of course. Now we are going through the old city of Al-Quds right now. These are all small shops and small restaurants and small places for people to buy. And I don't know how about the connection, how it will be, but I'll do my best that you guys get the best views. This is going out, and we're gonna go as fast as I can so you guys can see as much as you can. We're walking in through Bab al-Majlis and going through Al-Wad. Al-Wad means the valley. So there's the road to the valley and the road to the market. Both are market. Now we're going through the market area right over here. Going faster because the connection is really bad here. So I can show you Bab al-Amud. Let me see if I can go fast here. Okay. Shops. Very, very old Quran store with all those lanterns, Islamic lanterns. Very beautiful place here. Sells anise and sells beautiful things here. Look at those beautiful lights here that come to Palestine and buy this beautiful store. Very old store that has been here since I was even younger than this. It's been here, same sells the same thing. So many people flipped what they're buying, what they're selling, but that store never flipped. People are buying their iftar right now. This is the za'atar, the Palestinian za'atar fruit, za'atar and olive oil, Palestinian olive oil, and the famous skak of Bayt al-Maqdis. Okay, so this famous skak of Bayt al-Maqdis, which has sesame on top of it, that came to us from. So either we gave it to Turkey when the Uthmani Empire came here, or the Turkish took it from us. But it has the same thing. They call it samit, but we do it in a different way. It tastes different in Palestine than it does in Turkey. So I don't know who took it from who, but they have almost the same thing in Turkey, but it's not the same. We eat it when it's hot and fresh, Well, they eat it cold and it's kind of hard. So it's different here than it is in Turkey. This is actually called the road of pain, where they claim that Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam was dragged to the Holy Sepulchre. Right over here, you'll find so many churches on the way. Another Medina. You'll also find lots of masajid in Al-Quds. All right. This road leads to Bab al-Asbat, the Lion's Gate. All the way here, it leads to that place. But I'm not going up there. It's like climbing a mountain. We're going to take it to Bab al-Amud. It's also now called the Bab al-Shuhada, because so many shaheed were shot there in the occupation, this modern occupation. Palestinian.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'm recording, but I have to go. I just want to make sure someone else is recording so we don't miss anything.
Okay, can somebody else record?
I can keep it going if no one else is able to.
Okay, I'm stopping in like 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Oh, hang on. Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
I'll be five. No, it's all right. I'm stopping in 5-10 minutes because my charger finished.
Yeah, of course. Okay, inshallah, I'll just keep it going then. Yeah.
All right. But I just want to show you Bab al-Amud, and so everyone's making Palestinian, Shami, Palestinian, whatever you call it. And trying to go up as fast as I can. You guys can see more. Oh, that over there is actually called Dar Sharon, which means the House of Sharon. And House of Sharon is, Sharon. Sharon, the one that made the Lebanon. He's Sharon, Shar. Israeli Prime Minister. So, and bottles over here. That golden house from the palace for selling that house. Of course, Sharon was not under. He sold it 20 years or 30 years before he became a minister. But he was a big Palestinian people. Anyone that sells Palestine is considered a spy, and he's not married to. His daughters are not taken as wives to anyone, and people just cut them off and don't talk to them, and they're considered as spies, and they usually leave the country because no one talks to them. So we're in the market right now. I don't know if you're interested in seeing the market. This is how the market is in Palestine. Flowers for the beautiful people in the participant box or room. Going up Bab al-Amud to show you Bab al-Amud. Okay. This is Bab al-Amud, or what we call Damascus Gate. Why was it called Damascus Gate? Because the caravans that came from Damascus, Syria, if they keep on going a straight line, they would come to this door. So they call it Bawab al-Dimashq. And you will notice that even the accent of the people in Al-Quds, their accent is different than the accent of people in other areas. They don't say qa, they say just like the people in Damascus and Syria. They have very, very similar cuisines. They have very similar accent and very close to each other. Right now, because so many of the people of Hebron or Khalil after Al-Quds was in danger of invasion from the Yahud, a Maqdisi person went to the Khalil, and he told them, tell the people of the Khalil to come by the houses. I'm afraid that the Yahud will buy the houses from the Muslimin, and the Muslimin are not aware of the danger that is yet to come. So the lots of people from the Khalil, from Hebron, came here. So more than 70% of the people, see, they're having like a med in their tongue, their language. Start saying Shamsiyya, Shamsiyya. That's a Khalili accent. Okay, and you'll find that so much in Al-Quds, even though it's a Maqdisi, it's supposed to be Maqdisi accent, but because when it was in danger of being sold to the Yahud, the Palestinians from Al-Khalil came and rescued the city by buying so many of the properties and so many of the houses that were in danger of being sold to the Yahud. So 70% or probably 65, or I don't know how much, of the Palestinian, the Muslim area, is actually by people from Al-Khalil, originally from the Khalil. So this is Damascus Gate right now. You see Bawab Dimashq, or Bab al-Amud. Amud means column. So why was it called Bab al-Amud? It was called Bab al-Amud from the Romans' time. Why? There was a very big column here with Hercules. Hercules are one of the big rulers of the Rome over here. And it was named after it, Bab al-Amud, which means the door of the column, which had the big statue on it. So was this statue worshipped or not? Or was it a signal of power for the leader of the Romans at that time? Allah. But the Romans, before converting to Christianity, they were idol worshippers, just for you to know. So it could, Allahu Alam, it could be that they were probably worshipping that statue that was, because they were worshipping also the leaders of the empire. Just like, the Orthodox Church, they consider the Caesar being also from the gods. That's how the Russian Caesar, that he was killed, he was considered from the gods. Now if we look down here, there's a door here and there's a door there. Okay, now this door is Uthmani door. All right, that was the main entrance for the old city in the Romans' time. This was actually Bab al-Amud before, and this was actually the door. You can see how small it is because there were not lots of people. You're talking about all of Palestine, probably 10,000 people. Right now there's 5-6 million Palestinians and 6 million about Yahud, but a long time ago, the whole country was about like 10-20,000 with the cities, with the villages, with everything, with like 10,000, 20,000. That's it. So this was the old city. This is the main gate of Al-Quds, Bab al-Amud, long time ago, and this was all newly built. It was where they set the camels. Remember I told you about the camels, where the old man was like, "Where's the camels that used to be here?" This was all like a big garage way, and then they dig up this, and then they found this door down here. It was all just one pile of bricks going up the hill like that instead of stairs, and cars would even park here. That was in the 1960s. Cars would park here, but they dug up all this, and then they found all this history down there, and they kept it for others to see. So Bawabat al-Quds, city gate, Bawat al-Balad, and it leads, if you go into that, you will go to, remember the tunnel that I showed you in the beginning of the video? Yeah, this is on the same level of that tunnel when the old city was on that, on that level. Okay, so we have a city on the top and so many hiding things in the bottom what we don't know, and some we know and some we don't know. And we do know that some people have told us that they found tunnels in their homes, but they're afraid to tell the Yahud, so the Yahud won't try to take over their homes or to try to take over the tunnels under their homes and turn it into some synagogue or whatever. Okay, with that being said, we finished Bab al-Amud, and we are going to go and sit over there, and going up there, yani, Okay, over here there was, instead of this metal thing, there were houses and everything, Palestinian homes and everything. They tore that down in 1948 or 1967, and they made this into a, they call it a biblical garden. We don't care. We're Palestinians. We just sit there wherever we are, call it whatever we want. At the end, this is our land. Just like the Romans occupied Palestine for thousands of years. Doesn't really matter. Every occupation just sits there for a few years and then they leave, and khalas, we stay here and we enjoy what they left, you know. Alhamdulillah. If they left something that is worthy, we'll enjoy it. Just like the Romans left so many things, left so many walls, left so many buildings that still the Palestinians use for thousands of years. That being said, I'm leaving you with this beautiful tree, this beautiful view of the wall of Al-Quds. And any questions, sisters, before we shut the room? Any questions?
No, Sister Alia, thank you very much. This was one of the best days of our lives. Thank you.
Oh, Allah yahfadkum, jazakumullahu khairan. I tried to make a view, but you know, I really take for the old city, when the groups come, I need 4 days for the old city by itself. Going out from 8 in the morning, till Maghrib time. 4 days just to finish talking about all the sabils, all the universities, all the orphanages, all the Muslim schools, even the Christian sites, you know, just talking about the history. This is authentic, this is not authentic. How they took the churches from the Palestinian Christians and they made it like a colonized little centers for, you know, for Greece, for Italy, for whatever. And the Palestinian Christians don't even rule on their own churches. So I just walked one road and so much history. I couldn't even say some things because there were so many people in their way and I can't block people from walking, you know? But, you know, on our way, on that roads, there was masjids, there was stuff like that, but I have very limited time to, you know, to be with you guys, and you guys have to go. And inshallah, we'll be doing that, inshallah, yani, when requested from you guys, inshallah, later on. This is the gift for the Khatma class, for all the people that were joining us, for the people that didn't join us, for all the Muslimin, for everyone that's watching this. This is a gift from me to you. And inshallah, ya Rabbi, you like the gift. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you a chance to come to Palestine. And maybe we can do the 4-day tour in Al-Quds.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair. That's amazing. May Allah bless of this word and the hereafter. Jazakallah khair.
وإياكم يا ربي. We'll see you guys inshallah.
Sister Alia, everything else is recorded, but in the beginning, when you were showing the house of brother, I guess his name was Ali, who was offered 4 million and he dug the whole tunnel, that was not recorded. So if there is any time you can
was
record
not
that
recorded,
thing.
but I will be inshallah. Jazakumullah khair everyone for being with us. I wish I could make you a video of the doors of Al-Quds, of Jerusalem itself. And don't worry about calling it Jerusalem, because it's actually a Canaani name, which means an old Palestinian name. And don't worry about saying the word shekel either. It's also, they call it, it's an Israeli currency now, but it was a Palestinian currency before. So they didn't only steal the falafel and the thawbs and everything, the makluba and all those, they still, and the hummus, they steal everything just to try to relate to this land. And subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals them. So you can call it Jerusalem, don't worry about that. And you can call it Bayt al-Maqdis, you can call it Al-Quds. Al-Quds was written in the Hadith, Bayt al-Maqdis was written in the Hadith, or Salam, which means Jerusalem, was also in the Hadith. So don't worry about that. Allah yahfazkum. Lots of information to say. As I said, it needs 4 days of talking and touring and looking and sitting and telling the stories. of all, you know, all eras and all times to understand the history of this place. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت عيدكم مبارك تقبل الله منا ومنكم الطاعات. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يعني reward you all and accept all your ibadas, all of us, Ya Rabbil Alameen. May Allah accept the khatma that we have done, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Accept the recitation from everyone that has read. اللهم من كان منا محروما اللهم يا ربي لا تحرمنا بهذا الجمع الغفير بهذه القلوب النقية. اللهم يا رب لا تحرمنا أجرهم ولا تفتنا بعدهم. اللهم ردنا إليك ردا جميلا. اللهم أجرنا من الفتن ما ظهر منها وبطن. اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا اللهم من الراشدين. اللهم إنا نستودعك أبناءنا فاحفظهم واحفظ عليهم دينهم وإيمانهم وخواتيم أعمالهم ونحن نستودعك قلوبنا وإيماننا واحفظنا يا الله. اللهم أجرنا من الفتن، أجرنا من نارك، أجرنا من عذاب القبر، أجرنا من فتنة المسيح الدجال، أجرنا من الفتن ما ظهر منها وبطن. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. We'll see you guys إن شاء الله. يعني okay, I'm going to be putting a poll. Do you guys want me to take a video of Salat al-Eid?
Yes.
Inshallah. Then we'll take a video. We'll see. I'll put a poll there and we'll see how much people will vote for Salat al-Eid to be